Hello students, let's talk about this very handy function called VLOOKUP, of course in Excel. Now, VLOOKUP, what does it do? It helps you to recover information very quickly from a table. So let's see how it works with a specific example. So here in this sheet, I have a table with information about life expectancies. So I have different countries, and then country code, and then the life expectancy for different years. And you see sometimes there's missing information. So we don't have this information for this specific country. And then, yeah, I think there's also some aggregate value for like the whole regions. So let's say that I have lots of rows here. I don't know where a specific country is, but I want to find quickly what is the life expectancy in one of those countries. I can use this function VLOOKUP to do that. So let's do it and explain as we go. So the function is called VLOOKUP. First argument would be the unique identifier of the row I want to grab the information from. So in this case, what would be a unique identifier is the name of the country. So if I want to find the life expectancy in the country, say Australia, I would need to type Australia, but here be careful, the spelling needs to be exactly the one in my table. Okay, now here there's not a lot of ambiguity about the spelling of Australia, so this should work. That's the first argument called lookup value. So the value I want to find in that table. Now, the second argument is that I need to give Excel exactly the data in the table. So I would just simply select in this second argument the whole table. So I would select this first row, then drag to the bottom. So I grab the whole table. And in Excel, the syntax for this would be A5, which is the top cell top left, and then H271, which is the cell at the bottom right. Okay, so again, I have grabbed every single data point in my table. That's the second argument. The third argument would be column index number. So the number of the column of which I want the information from. So here there's many columns, but let's say that I want to find the life expectancy in 2020. So the most recent data available. So I want the life expectancy in 2020. This is the 8th column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 8th column in my table. So I enter 8. Then lastly, this one, for now, I'm just going to tell you use exact match. Okay, so the last argument is either true or false, but we want to find the country that has exactly the name Australia. So we're going to type false here, false, because false corresponds to exact match. And in a second, we'll do an example where you might understand how this might be relevant. But most of the time, I would say you're going to use exact match. Okay, this should work. So we type enter. And then indeed, we have found the life expectancy in Australia. You can verify that where is Australia? So Australia is here. Life expectancy in 2020 is 83.2. 83.2. If I wanted the life expectancy, say in 2018, this would have been column 6. And this would have been slightly different, 82.7487. Indeed, that's what we have. Now, just a comment. Maybe if you want to find many countries quickly, maybe what you wanted to do instead. Let me just I copied this. I'm going to put it here. And instead of having to write the country each time inside the formula, which is a bit impractical, let's type Australia here. And then inside the formula, the first argument, which again is the identifier of the country we want, we're going to just type the cell here, A2. This is going to work as well. And then here I can quickly, if I want to find Italy, I can. Like if I want to find Canada, my home country, I can, and etc. Okay, maybe Japan, and you can keep going and enter all of your favorite countries. Okay, maybe some countries. Actually, United States, that's going to be, of America, maybe? Okay, that doesn't work because this country apparently doesn't exist. But United States, yes, okay. So in the database, United States is there, entered as United States, and not United States of America. And now just be careful. Let's take a country for which we don't have the information. So for Monaco, we don't have the information. What's going to happen then if I type Monaco? So before, if I type a country that's not in the database, we had an error, okay, NA. But if I type Monaco, careful, it's going to return 0. I don't know exactly why, but it interprets an empty value as the number 0. Here, just be mindful of that. Okay, that's very good. Now, other things to explain here. I don't really think so. Just be careful. Sometimes it gets a bit messy if you have lots and lots of columns. So maybe you would just want to number all your columns, so then it's easier to find what is the number of the column you want. So here, if I have, okay, I know that if I want the life expectancy in 2016, then I can just type 4 because I know it's the 4th column. Okay, one thing that's very important though, I should have mentioned before, the identifier, okay, in this case, the name of the country, in our table needs to be the first column. Okay, so the first column of our table needs to be our identifier. For example, if I use the country code as a identifier, that would be fine, but I would need to enter in the second argument, which is all the data. I would need to start my data at the first column country code. Okay, so for example, here doesn't work, but if instead of Monaco, I type Africa, Western, and Central, for instance, this has the code AFW, then it's going to work. But here, careful, you need to update the column. Okay, but in this case, what's happening? I'm grabbing Africa, Western, and Central, but then column 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this value would be the 2017 value here. This 56.88 is this one. Okay, so here, you know, I would need to update. This would be 1, 2, etc. And then the last column would be 7 if I want the life expectancy for all Africa, Western, and Central in 2020, I get this value. Okay, I think that's good for this example. But now just a few more things. Okay, in a second sheet, I have different information. Okay, I have some death probabilities. Okay, and this data is specifically for females in Australia, this specific sheet. And it gives me the overall for the whole population, the probability to die at specific ages and the probability to survive. So this column is the probability to survive at age 0. Then this is the probability to die at age 0, and etc. This would be the probability that a 6-year-old survives the whole year, it survives up to age 7. And then this would be the probability that unfortunately the 6-year-old dies while they are 6 years old. But anyway, that's not too important. We want to do something with our VLOOKUP. So here I want to do the same thing, but I just want to show that the VLOOKUP, you don't have to find a word, you can find a number as well. So let's say that I want to find the probability that so VLOOKUP, the probability that someone age 55 is gonna say survive the year where they are age 55. So I do the same thing. I want to find 55 in this table. I'm gonna grab the whole table as the second argument. Okay, and then what do I want to find? I want to find, say I want to find the probability that they survive. So this would be the second. Okay, I want to find the PX, so the probability they survive, the second column. And then here, so if I enter, again, I'm going to enter false because I want to exact match. I want to find exactly the value 55 in this table. Okay, so I find this number. Hopefully this is the right one, 997413. If I go just to verify 997413, that's good. But now the point is just to show you that if I enter, for example, 55.5, well, 55.5 is not in my table because it's only integer value. So here, this is not going to work. But if I enter as the last argument true means that an approximate match is fine. Okay, so now Excel is going to find the number that is close to 55.5, and so it's going to give me, it's actually going to give me 55. The value for 55. I believe how it works is that, so let's say that I enter the number that's 55.999. Is it going to round? No, it's not. Apparently the behavior is that it's going to go look all those numbers. Okay, look for 55.999. It doesn't find. It goes to 56, but then it goes back 1 and gives you this one, the one for 55. That's the behavior of Excel if you use a approximate match. But I would just suggest, unless you really have to, use always exact match. Otherwise, you might end up with things you didn't foresee. Okay, I think that's good for this example. One last thing I want to show you with VLOOKUP is that VLOOKUP can be very useful to complete a table of information with information you have somewhere else. Okay? For example, let's say that in a different table, I have also information about probabilities of death or life expectancies at specific ages. For example, in this table, so this is a third sheet in my spreadsheet, I have again the ages, and this is statistics for the whole of Australia for females. And here, this table gives me the expected number of remaining years of life for people of a specific age. And you see that they're ordered for whatever reason in decreasing order. Okay, so someone who's at a very advanced age of 109 actually has, on average, very few years remaining. Unfortunately for them, on average, this person is going to live only 1.37 years. Okay, based on some computation of statistics. Okay, but of course, someone who's young. Okay, so maybe someone around the age of first-year uni student has an expected number of years remaining from Australian statistics again of 67. Okay, not too bad. Now the point here is that in many situations, I want to have all the information in one table. And here in this table, I do not have this third column of the expected remaining lifetimes, but I can complete it easily without having to do a bunch of copy paste that are messy and prone to errors by using my lovely VLOOKUP. So here I would want to have the variable for the average remaining lifetime at different ages. How do I do this with VLOOKUP? Well, very easy. Let's do it. VLOOKUP. Now, for the specific age 0, so that's again the value I want to look up in a table. I want to look up the information. I want to find the information of the life expectancy. But so the table array here that I need to enter is a table array in the different sheet here, different tab. So I would enter here, go in the second. I'm still in my formula. I would grab this whole table from a different sheet. So you can totally do that in Excel. Grab information, or in the formula, grab cells that are in a different sheet. Okay, and then that's exactly what I want. And then in this table, there's only 2 columns, and what I want is the second column. So the first column is where I'm going to find the age, and then I'm going to grab the value in the second column, which is the life expectancy at a specific age. Okay, now I'm going to follow my own advice to have, I want exact match. I'm going to type false. And then that's it. It's going to find, hopefully, the life expectancy for someone who's a newborn. So for someone who's age 0, the life expectancy apparently is 84.85. I can double check manually. You see, it doesn't matter at all that it's in reverse order. Okay, it could be in a totally random order. Excel is still going to find the right value. And yes, it's 84.85. But now what can I do? I can do this for every single row. I can just drag down the formula. Now be careful though. A2 needs to be updated because in the second row, I want to be able to find the age of a person aged 1 and find the life expectancy for someone that age. But I don't want to update my table of values here. The table where I grab my information needs to be static, needs to be the same for every single row. Okay, so then I'm going to add my $signs. So do not update the values where you find the information. So do not update A1 to B11. Those should stay the same. And then 2, that's fine. I want to just grab the second value in the table, the second column in the table over here. And that's it. Now I'm and false, that's going to be false for everyone. So I can update this and find the life expectancy of someone age 1, the life expectancy of someone age 2. Again, by life expectancy, we mean the average remaining number of years. So of course, this is going to be a decreasing function. As you age, unfortunately for you, you have fewer years ahead of you. And then you drag this, and we should get, if you remember, for someone who's age 109, they only have on average 1.37 years remaining ahead of them. So I believe that's it. So that's another, quite useful use of VLOOKUP to complete information that you have maybe somewhere else. And I believe that's it. That's it for this video. So as usual, thank you very much for listening. And I believe I'll see you in a different video. Okay. So bye-bye.